The fit, the finish, the bright, bold colors, and a touch of elegance. These are the qualities that set Lindani Ndwandwa apart as a fashion designer. My name is Pule Mulebatsi, taking you through the success story of a young visionary, Lindani Ndwandwa. Welcome to Bophelong. Let's meet the man behind the vibrant modern garment.
I never thought I could make it in Johannesburg. I never thought I could be big in the fashion industry. But I believe, I persisted, I worked hard, and I've made it. You too can make it. You need to work hard, believe, persist, and give it your best shot. I am Lindani Ndwandwa. Lindani Ndwandwa is a 27-year-old, very handsome black boy from Pietermaritzburg, firstborn of 6 kids raised by a single mom and a grandmother. Went to school, did very well in school, and then decided to come to Johannesburg to pursue his dream in fashion. Always had a passion for fashion since a young age, wearing clothes, drawing pictures of clothes, dressing Barbie dolls. So yeah, it's just a young boy who has loved fashion and has been running after it ever since.
Things haven't always been easy, but he believed in himself and everything fell into place.
This was very difficult. The fact that there's no father figure made it very difficult financially and emotionally, not having a father figure to shout at you or support you or give you that love.
Entrepreneurship started at a very young age, and that is why he is the young businessman he is today.
I was very independent from a young age. I think I began working from the age of 7. I've been doing little piece jobs, carrying people's parcels. They gave me 2 rands and 1 rands there. I then started selling stuff on the street, selling ice blocks and selling chips in taxi ranks. And then I graduated to working in clothing stores, standing outside, selling clothes. So I've always tried to make money because I knew my family is struggling. My grandmother was a pensioner, my mother was unemployed. Now and again, she'll also get little jobs just to get some money for us.
Being a bright kid made his high school years a little better, but that light didn't last for long.
When I was doing my grade 9, which is standard 7, I was offered a bursary from a church I joined. They liked me, they liked my marks, that I was intelligent, so they offered me a bursary. Then they moved me to a private school, and then everything just changed. And I was in a private school, and then I was also doing very well. And then when I finished matric, they offered to pay for my studies until I told them I'm doing fashion. Then fashion is a hard one to fund in terms of studying. After matric, I went and did fashion, but I was on my own. So they helped me as far as registration and moving into race. Then from there, I had to work hard. Luckily, I got a job at Edgar's, and then the next thing I was making money in terms of making sure I got enough food for the month. And then I got financial aid to pay my fees, which I'm still paying. So yeah.
And here's a perfect example of everything happening for a reason.
I think I chose that matric. It's always been there, but my granny said, no, be a doctor. Oh no, go be an accountant. Because I did very well at school. I didn't do art or drawing. I did well in biology and everything else. It made sense for me to do BCom or do BA. But something in my heart was like, fashion is the one. Number 1 was psychology. Number 2 was PA, arts. Number 3 was marketing, I think. Then 4 was fashion. I was declined for all of them, ne? But I had the right marks. I had enough points for all of them. They all declined me. Went into fashion. They accepted me. When they accepted me, then they said, no, actually, we want to accept you. I'm like, sorry, you're late. I've chosen fashion, and yeah. But I've always wanted to be in fashion. I think I was in denial because, you know, you feel like I grew up in a very poor family. What if I don't make money in fashion? Actually, let me go be an accountant first. When I'm rich, then I'll go to it. But I'm like, let me just do this and take a step of faith.
Some give up when doors are shut on their faces, but Lindani persevered because he possesses a vision that is characterized by the willingness to work and has this desire for excellence.
I emailed a lot of people. I think I sent over 100 emails. I sent to magazines. I sent to fashion houses. I sent to clothing stores. There were no replies. And then when I had lost hope, actually Stingo replied first. They said, no, come in for a week, do an internship, we do a report, you go back to school. Cool. I go to Stingo, do my 1 week. On the Friday, the last day of my internship, because it's at the same building as SABC, I went downstairs to the Generations wardrobe. I met the lady. I'm like, hey, I've been emailing you. I would like to come and intern. She says, oh, okay, I've never seen your emails. Anyways, leave me your details. I might call you. This was like around July. Then I went back to school. Then end of September, early October of the same year, they called and said, no, we need help, extra hands in wardrobe. You'll be a runner, but you'll do something in wardrobe. Just come and work with us. Let's see. I go there, and then they liked me, and then I was there for a good 6 months to almost a year. Ever since that internship, that one door has opened so many other doors. I've never turned back. I've never had reasons to pack my bag to go back home.
Learning to catch up with the city's pressure and surviving was difficult.
I think for the first year and a half, I think in Joburg was very dry, was very difficult. I was like, yeah, this is it. And then rents are high. To get a place was hectic. So the money I got was enough to pay rent. Then I had to try and make a plan for the rest. I struggled to a point where I didn't afford to buy groceries. And then the first place I moved into, the rent went high. I had to move out. When I moved into a second place, I didn't have a bed. Then Connie Ferguson, who plays Garaba Generations, bought me my first bed. And I was like, okay, there's a relief. Then I was struggling with groceries. Then people like Sofinda, Sonia Setibe stepped in and said, okay, we'll give you 100 rands. Here's 100 rands, go buy yourself groceries. So I did struggle, but people were there just to throw in an extra hand. And also the little gigs I was doing, I tried and save money just to make sure I survived.
Lindani's approach to Afrocentric modern-day design proved to be very hard to resist for popular media personalities who constantly request custom-made clothing from him. This and more after the break.
The road to greatness is not an easy one. It's rough, tough, and full of barriers. And there's only one way to master it. Never, ever stop. Dauntless, the all-new Audi Q7.
Morning Live sets the agenda for the day. We bring you the latest local and international news.
We are on the ball with all your sports activities and results.
We give you the latest business update.
We bring you the latest weather every time.
Watch Morning Live every weekday morning at 6 o'clock, bringing you everything you need to know before you go. Shap shap, tada.
South Africa is the third leading country globally in TB infections.
We have 9 million new cases occurring globally, and 30% of those cases are occurring in the African region.
And there are two broad kinds of drug-resistant TB, so to speak. The one is MDR TB, and the other is XDR TB.
To ensure that everyone who's diagnosed with TB is tested for HIV.
There's grossly inadequate funding for TB. Vaccine, drug and diagnostic research. We need a lot more.
Join me on Health Talk every Saturday morning between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. as we unpack current health stories.
Welcome back to the show with me, Pule Molebati. When the opportunity to design for South Africa's biggest gospel group, Joyous Celebration, presented itself to Lindani, he rose to the occasion. He did not shy away from putting together garments that capture his spirit as a designer.
Relocating to Johannesburg with absolutely nothing and knocking on almost every door paved the way for his future. And not one, but many doors opened with a statement so clear that Lindani has arrived.
After generations, I was offered a job at Joyous Celebration to work as the wardrobe guy. And from wardrobe guy, they made me the stylist. From the stylist, they trusted me to design their uniform. So that opened that door. And on the side, I was still getting jobs from magazines. I was starting to style magazines. And then I got celebrities starting to call me, please style me for the summer awards or the SABCs and stuff. So a lot of those were opening because once you're in Generations, everybody knows you. And then when you say, I work for Generations Wardrobe, I'm at SABC, people are like, okay, let's take you seriously. And then a lot of those open. And word of mouth is very, very big. I stopped dressing them at Joyous Celebration 18. I was with them for 6 years, from Joyous 13 to Joyous 18. I then resigned. I got very busy. Like now I'm very busy. I'm pushing my own brand, and it's also a very demanding job. And I also felt I've served my time. I've been there for 6 years. And after being in a company for more than 5 years, you feel like actually I've served my time. Can I do other things?
Lindani still sings praises to people who paved the way for him and helped him become the brand he is today.
The two people who brought a turnaround in my life will have to be Sophie Ndaba and Lindani Mkhize, because when I Bophelong, when I got my job at Joyous Celebration, that opened a lot of doors in terms of now me being in the gospel industry. Because when you've dressed Joyous Celebration, every gospel artist who aspires to be part of Joyous or looks up to Joyous wants to work with you. Don't you know? If they picked you to dress them, there must be something special about you. Then for me, this was a huge door that opened, because every gospel artist, from Rebecca to Ntokozo to Mahalia to everybody, wanted to dress me. I am still dressing them, so that opened that door for me. Sophie Ndaba opened the door to other celebrities. I thought if you dress Sophie Ndaba, you can also dress us. So she opened the door for me being a celebrity stylist. So those two people opened those two doors, and they opened at the same time, and it was amazing.
There's definitely nothing stopping this young man. He arrives, leaves a mark, and continues his journey. This explains why he's not easily forgotten.
I style the presenters for the whole channel for One Gospel, and also Dumisa. I just provide styling for both the channels, but I'll be leaving very soon as well. So I've been with them for 4 years, and for me, after I've done a project or a company for 3 years, I'm at a point where I'm like, actually I need something new. I don't like being in a place for a long time, because I always want to grow. Also, I also want to be re-inspired and do something new. When I feel like it stagnates, I've done this, I've dressed this person, I'm tired, I move on. My styling and my designing are very different. My designing is very African, very Afrocentric. I'm big on African prints. I could travel the whole of Africa, just to get the right print. I'm in love with prints, I'm in love with color. My styling, very simple, very classy, and I like doing simple styling and having statement pieces, whether it's a neck piece or a bangle, or I like having very simple and just a touch, but color is always present unless the brief says no color. But I love styling with color. I love doing fresh. I love prints. I love stripes. I love polka dot, things that pop in your face that say hello. So I'm that guy who go for yellow, go for orange, not black and white.
Where does he draw his inspiration?
Inspiration comes from a lot of things. My inspiration comes from what people are wearing. So when I walk into a mall, walk on the street, what are people wearing? What are people comfortable in? What are people buying? I get inspired by that. Trends, I look at fashion TV, what's happening in terms of the trends, but also emotions, how I feel. If I woke up this morning and I felt like, I feel very happy, let me try something yellow. So it's a lot of things. So, how many? So, I'm going to give her 5 meters, Lana. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello.
Sorry, Is it to touch up and look tight, my friend?
But the makeup looks nice, eh?
Thank you.
Nice.
You know we like it simple because we're natural beauties.
Of course. Okay, let's go get
nice.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
I'm wearing this.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, you can go for this one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Check out.
Nice.
There you go.
How'd you guys feel?
Amazing. Too good. Amazing. I love the top. Right?
Okay, let me explain to you why I put you guys in these clothes. Both of these looks very young, very Lindani styling. I'm very big on print, very colorful. But I had to break it with black because sometimes when this color it becomes too busy.
Yeah.
So I always try and break the print with black. This look, pants fitted in African prints, very young and funky, can be worn to any do, can be worn to a wedding, to an evening function, stuff like that. This can also be worn to anything, you know. So my stuff are always in between clothes that can be worn in between events, you know. So yeah.
I love this. I love it. It's very comfortable. It's very good.
The uniting of cities, the vibration of pop-up trees, telling humankind simple stories. A life where the art is not read by currency, where our ears are constantly open to stories told by the symmetry. Was it Vela, we can make us dance in tune with nature, you see. Sipili villain is Nilo, Simbibe Motin, the Chiludilo, Pumelele Saizolo, Winkomo is Tangi Villas Dolo, Pella Wama Pupu.
Wow.
Here comes Bride.
And his work speaks for itself.
I never thought I would be this known in Johannesburg because it's a very big city. There's a lot of designers, there's a lot of stylists, there's a lot of everyone. So for you to be handpicked and say, oh, actually we do know Lindani, and other people to know you that well, it humbles me. You know, the most humbling thing that ever happened to me, I walked into Convention Center and all the biggest artists in South Africa were there in one room. Zahara, Mafigizolo, that lady from Thandiswa Mazwai was there, big names, Somizi, everyone, you name them, in one room. I walked in and I greeted them, and each and everybody knew who I was, and I addressed them. At that point in my life, I knew I'd made it. I knew that there's no one else to address. I know it sounds wrong, but I knew I had made it because, I mean, everybody in that room has met me, knows my work. I've worked with them. I can literally see, I even have their numbers on my phone. And at that point, I was like, hey, you have made it. This is all you've dreamt about, and it has happened.
Our journey with Lindani continues after their break. Stay with us.
South Africa is the third leading country globally in TB infections.
We have 9 million new cases occurring globally, and 30% of those cases are occurring in the African region.
And there are two broad kinds of drug-resistant TB, so to speak. The one is MDR TB, and the other is XDR TB.
To ensure that everyone who's diagnosed with TB is tested for HIV.
There's grossly inadequate funding for TB. Vaccine, drug and diagnostic research. We need a lot more.
Join me on Health Talk every Saturday morning between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. as we unpack current health stories.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Lindani's biggest showcase, titled Fashion Meets Gospel, is a very unique approach to bring the two worlds together. He tells us more about this project in this next insert.
The idea of combining fashion with gospel music may sound a bit odd, but Lindani found a way to make it work and started an annual event called Fashion Meets Gospel.
Fashion Meets Gospel is a concept that is now 4 years. It started through me wanting to mix gospel and fashion into one room. You know, it was like an idea, like a crazy idea. It wouldn't be nice if I mix fashion and gospel. People are modeling this gospel music. I was telling all my friends. But for me, it was more of a dream. I never thought it could be real. And I took a step of faith and I went to Lindelani. I sat down with him and Kayam Tetwa. I'm like, guys, help me out with the music. Is this possible? He said, of course it's possible. I got designers. I'm like, come and showcase your garments. I went and got a venue. And then Sophie Ndaba also helped me with the financing. I approached companies like Pro Sound to come and sponsor me with sound. And the event happened. I launched it on my was it 21? On my 22nd or 23rd birthday, I don't remember.
Lindani's passion has become more than just a career. It now shows selflessness in so many ways. His work ethic has become visible to those around him and those he works closely with.
Into enhle uzwa ngama-clients nxa ama-clients obviously ezabuya babazi when they come for fitting and they say ukuthi hey, I didn't expect this, so that means ukuthi into yakhona iyabinhle. Yes, and le way futhi ahlanganisa ngayo ama-colors, indlela ahlanganisa ngayo ama-colors, at first nganga-understand ngibona ngani too much, but then after ngase ngicina ngibona ukuthi no, umuntu lo vele sometimes uzosithi mami I dreamt this ngifuna ukuhlanganisa this kule fabric enjani engiphuphileyo, so I need to ukuhlanganisa ama-colors anje. Awahlanganisa ama-colors akhona aphume exactly and abantu babe excited.
Lindani inspires me. He is someone that takes his craft real seriously. He makes sure that each and every outfit he makes, the detail that he puts in is very specific, deliberate, and I just love his passion about media and wanting to go beyond just styling, hosting events.
To me, he's an inspiration because I've always looked up to people who started from nowhere to somewhere. And for the fact that, you know, he battled to even get to where he is today. It's not easy, especially in our South African entertainment industry. And he pushed.
Lindani ngihlala ngumtshela isikhathi esiningi ngithi hey Lindani, if you were my son, bengiyaba very proud of you. Yazi indlela osebenza ngayo le speed sakhe. Umuntu lwana okhipha isikhathi ngangimtshela ngelesi isikhathi ngithi uyazi Lindani ngumlungu ungathi mami ngizoza ngo1 o'clock exactly ngo1 o'clock sengenile.
It's not about where you come from, it's not about what you may have or not, but for as long as you can think of something and believe that it will definitely happen and then speak it into your life like you're a fool. Like wake up in the morning and be like, you know what, as much as they say you're sick or you're unable to do certain things, speak opposite that and be like, you know what, I'm confident, I am wealthy.
Lindani used to dress up to Bobo Joya celebration, and I was shocked because these are the things that he used to say without even doing anything, without even starting anywhere. And he says, you know, my friend, next year, this is what I'll be doing. And he will be telling me about his dreams, and they would sometimes they would seem impossible.
By the look of things, he still has bigger ideas and even bigger dreams.
What I haven't done is I haven't showcased overseas. That's what I'm hoping to do in Paris, in Milan, in Hong Kong. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I am hoping to dress Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, international stars, because I feel like I've exhausted local ones. So those are the two things. And I know I've been saying it, and it's going to happen. Like I've been saying I want to dress Michelle Obama, I want to dress Oprah Winfrey. I wanted to wear African print and wear my stuff and say I'm wearing Lindani styling. And it seems far-fetched, it seems crazy, but with God it's possible.
Lindani will forever be grateful for his past.
If you grew up poor, if you grew up struggling, it makes you humble. It makes you respect the next person. It makes you walk into a shop and not just buy anything.
His hard work has paid off. His achievements speak itself about his capabilities.
Made it, I have. For a 27-year-old, I've done a lot. I've done things that could take people who are 40 to get. I mean, I've got my own brand. You can walk into Sandton and Rosebank and say, do you know Lindani, they know me. You can walk into SABC, do you know, they know me. And for me, I have not made it in terms of fame, but I've made a mark. Even if I've dressed you once, you know, if Lindani's dressed you, you'll never forget me. So I've made it, I've made a mark, and I've made a mark in people's hearts and their minds. So I've made it because of that. And also, I've made my brand known. They know Lindani is the best stylist. African fashion, Lindani is the one. Ogunye maybe, but African, go to Lindani. Fashion Miss Gospel is going to be places, it might be international. And perhaps from now I could actually be sitting with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry doing Christian movies. That's possible with me. I know it can happen. I could be dressing all these big stars internationally. Beyonce will be like, I'm wearing African Prince by Lindani. So it's possible. Even next year, you never know. God can make it happen.
If you can visualize it, you can most certainly make it a reality. Thank you for Lindani for sharing his story with us, and to you at home for watching. Join us again next week right here on SABC News Channel 404. Till next week, have a great weekend.
We ask tough questions.
Have you spoken to the president about resigning?
We ask hard questions.